Hey there, I'm Morgan from Teachable, and today we're going to be talking about creating your online course in just 20 minutes a day. So often we hear would-be course creators say, I would love to create my online course if only I had the time. And we get it. Creating an online course can be a very daunting process. There's a lot that goes into it, and especially if you've never created a course, it can feel like it's going to take an eternity to finish. But the thing is, first of all, creating an online course, most people are surprised at how quickly they're able to pump it out because they're already experts on what they're teaching and it's something they're passionate about, so it never drags on as long as people assume it's going to. And second, you don't have to set aside hours a day for the next week and a half. You can create your online course in little 20-minute increments without disrupting the flow of your day at all. Most of us have these sneaky little increments of time throughout the day that we don't even think about. You know, the 10 minutes that your pizza's in the oven, or the 15 minutes you're waiting for your kids to finish up with soccer practice and actually make it to your car. We could be using that time to be a little more efficient and actually get work done. You don't have to finish your online course in a week or 2 weeks or even a month. As long as you're steadily making progress and devoting time to it when you can, eventually you'll finish your course, and you can do so without it stressing you at all if you're just taking it at your own leisurely pace and just throwing 20 minutes. We have an entire blog post breaking down every single step of creating your online course and how long every single step's gonna take. So instead of just sounding like a broken record and repeating that blog post, I'm gonna have it linked down below and then go over some of the high points in this video. So let's think about different things that you have to accomplish to create your online course. First things first, you have to come up with an idea for your online course, and really you could probably accomplish everything you need to with ideation in less than an hour. Set aside 10 minutes to come up with a list of ideas, another 5 minutes to narrow it down, another 5 minutes to create a transformation, and all of a sudden you have probably 4 or 5 great ideas to choose from. Next comes goal setting, which again is going to happen really quickly. You could set your goals in 10 minutes or less. And with the goal setting phase of creating your online course, we just recommend taking a look at the size of your audience, taking a look at how much you'd like to make with your online course, and filling out the formula that I've got down below in the down bar and figure out how much you should price your online course for so you can meet your income goals. And once you figure out how much you want to charge for your online course, you can decide which other bonuses you're going to need to include to reach that value. Step 3 takes a little bit longer, and that one is growing your audience or finding an audience for your online course. If you're one of the lucky ones who already has an audience, I still recommend intentionally growing your audience full of people who are going to be very interested in your course by creating a freebie. And again, this can be done fairly quickly. The execution of the freebie is going to take the longest, but take 5 or 10 minutes to decide what you want your freebie to be. Take another 5 or 10 minutes to outline it, and now it's going to take a little bit longer. Take 20 minutes when you have the time to actually fill out that outline and say, create a draft of what you want your freebie to be, and then another 20 minutes or 30 or 40 if you have the time to actually create the outline. Or if you're really busy and you have the resources, you could send this outline to a freelancer off of a site like Upwork or Fiverr and have them create your freebie for you. So that's a little hack if you really are in a pinch and you want to create your course but you don't have the time. You could outsource a lot of different parts of it. Now we are going to create your sales page, and several different steps go into that one. The first will be choosing or creating a hero image. If you're just choosing one off a site like Unsplash, that could take you 5 or 10 minutes. But if you want to create a custom one in Canva or Photoshop, I'll have articles on how to do that linked down below. It could take a little bit longer, so allot yourself 15 minutes or 30 minutes depending on your comfort level with design and your skill level. Task 2 is writing the sales page copy, and so far this is probably going to be the most time-consuming task that you have to accomplish. So I'd give yourself at least an hour, but maybe even 2. And I know it's hard to find chunks of 2 hours in our day. So you could break this down into 4 or 8 chunks of 15 minutes, or if you can find, that spare half hour, spend 2 days using a free half hour to create your sales copy. Now it's time to edit the sales copy. I'd again spend a little more time on that, whether it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes, or again, outsourcing to somebody on Upwork. Copy is something you want to get right, so be patient with yourself and give yourself enough time to edit it. And now it's time to input everything into Teachable, which doesn't take that long. We have a really beautiful sales page editor that makes creating your sales page easy. It's just plug and chug, copy and paste your copy in, upload the header, and you'll be good to go. Now here's where things get really time consuming, and that's actually creating your course content. Now not every online course includes video, but for the purpose of this video, we're gonna assume you're creating a video or 2 or 3 or more for your online course. Let's talk about how you can actually create the time to create the video. First, outlining scripts. This is something you could do, like I said, while you're waiting to pick your kids up, or if you're in line at a grocery store, just those few spare minutes, you can start outlining the type of content you need to create. That way you've got somewhere to start from. And once you know what scripts you need to write, you can allot another, let's say 30 minutes per script to write it out. And here, if you've already created content, whether you're a blogger or you have an in-person training you give, you could repurpose content you've already created and use that as your script. For example, for this video, I'm using a blog post that I wrote, I think about 2 years ago as my script, and just kind of using that, and it saves time. Basically, as long as the information's still good and relevant, repurposing content you've already created is a great way to work smarter, not harder. Once you've created the scripts, you need to decide what type of video you want. Do you want to just sit down and talk to the camera like I'm doing, or would you want to have slides, something like this? If you decide you need to create slides, I would give yourself about half an hour per video to create the slides. So this is where creating an online course can expand to take a lot more time, because if you have 8 videos and you're giving yourself, half an hour a day, that's 8 days just working on creating the slides. But a thing to keep in mind here is your first set of slides is probably going to take the longest. You're going to get better at designing them, better at creating them, and get into the flow the more you create. So for your first video, give yourself 30 minutes. Your second one, honestly, you'll probably be safe giving yourself 15. Now setting up a filming studio. This one can be pretty time consuming. When I film videos here for Teachable, I set up my studio and just leave it up until my videos for the month are filmed, just because it's kind of a pain having to rearrange everything, set the lights up, set my camera up, put this chair in the middle of my living room. If you live in a home where the people you live with aren't going to be mad if you keep your studio up until you're done filming, I would recommend doing that. Otherwise, allot yourself 10 or 15 minutes every day that you need to film to set up. Once all of your videos are filmed, it's time to edit, and I would give yourself 25 or 30 minutes per video to edit them as well. And just like creating the slides, this is something that you're going to get quicker at, and it's going to be a lot easier the more you do it. So your first video is probably going to take a very long time, and your last video, you'll probably zip right through it. Now finally, uploading all of your content to Teachable shouldn't take you too long as you've got decent Wi-Fi. Our uploader, personally, I think I usually wait about 30 seconds per video, but again, it depends on your Wi-Fi speed. And now your course is created and ready to sell. I'm gonna have resources down below on how to actually market and sell your online course. And that one, you can actually set up systems so you can run your online course launch on autopilot, which is really cool because that takes no time at all, and it's truly passive income, so you can make money while you sleep. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye.